6 times he's been this close. 6 times it wasn't enough. The engine idles beneath him, a low, steady hum that vibrates through the seat and travels up into his spine. Outside, the crowd noise fades into a dull wash of static, replaced only by the sound of his own breathing inside the helmet. Sweat gathers at his temple long before the green flag even drops. Every muscle in his body remembers what almost feels like, because almost is the only word that has followed him through this entire season. Somewhere ahead, on a track that has quietly become personal, something is coming this weekend that could either define a career or begin to quietly unravel it. What track? What stakes? Who exactly is sitting behind that wheel right now? None of it is clear yet. But the weight pressing down inside that cockpit is real, and it is about to become impossible to ignore. That driver is Christopher Bell, of Joe Gibbs Racing, and the clock is no longer abstract. Only 4 regular season races remain before the 2026 chase begins, and Iowa Speedway is next on the calendar. Bell enters this weekend carrying a number that refuses to let go of him. 6 runner-up finishes and 0 wins in 22 races. He is regularly described as one of the most gifted drivers in the entire Cup Series, yet that raw talent has not translated into a single trip to victory lane all year. The contradiction sits at the center of everything happening around him right now. How does a driver this fast keep finishing almost first, race after race, without ever closing the final gap that separates second place from first? It is the kind of statistic that invites debate in every garage conversation, every broadcast booth, and every fan forum discussing this season, and it is a number that will not disappear until Bell finally answers it on the racetrack itself. If this story is already gripping you, imagine what's coming as this season tightens even further. This channel, NASCAR Insider TV, is closing in on 1,500 subscribers, and if you want to be part of reaching that milestone, hitting subscribe helps keep breakdowns exactly like this one coming every single week. Now, back to Bell, because the pressure surrounding him this weekend is only getting heavier from here. Joe Gibbs Racing fields championship-caliber equipment every single week, and the organization has always been measured by trophies, not by respectable finishes. No public conflict between Bell and his team has been confirmed by either side, but the question still hangs heavy in the air regardless of what stays private inside the shop. What happens internally when a talented driver keeps circling the trophy without ever actually grabbing it? There is a psychological angle here that simply cannot be ignored. A driver's confidence can either work alongside expectation, or it can begin fighting directly against it, lap after lap, week after week. Right now, with 22 races completed and 0 wins on the board, it is fair to ask which one of those two forces is currently winning inside that number 20 camp, and whether the answer will change before the chase begins. Iowa Speedway should, on paper, be the exact place where this drought finally ends. Bell built his reputation in the Xfinity series on understanding this track's rhythm and tire management better than almost anyone else in the field, a skill set that once made him the driver to beat on this exact surface. Yet at the Cup Series level, his results here have remained solid, without ever becoming the statement performance everyone around him expected. Iowa Speedway is a 7/8-mile short track, featuring 12 to 14-degree progressive banking, and grip across the surface remains uneven following a partial repaving of the racing groove. Adding another variable into this weekend, Goodyear has introduced a newly developed left-side tire, paired together with the 2025 right side, engineered specifically for more wear and greater fall-off over a run. That single detail means long-run balance may end up mattering more than raw one-lap speed this time around, changing how teams approach setup and strategy from the drop of the green flag all the way to the final stage. The question becomes impossible to avoid. Is this the race where Bell finally solves the puzzle he has already mastered everywhere except here? Or is it the race that exposes him again, in front of everyone watching? The odds tell their own version of this same story. Bell currently sits at plus 550 to win at Iowa, the third shortest number on the entire board, trailing only Denny Hamlin at plus 400 and Ryan Blaney at plus 500. Here is where things get genuinely strange. Hamlin is favored to win despite finishing 24th in both of his career starts at Iowa Speedway. That means the betting market is backing Hamlin's overall season, not his actual resume at this particular track. Meanwhile, the two drivers who have actually won at Iowa in recent memory, Blaney and William Byron, both sit at longer odds than Hamlin currently does. That imbalance says everything about how unpredictable this specific race truly is. The numbers suggest Bell has a real shot this weekend, but a shot and a certainty have never once been the same thing, and after 22 winless races, nobody understands that painful distinction better than Bell himself does. The noise surrounding him this week is arriving from every direction at once. NASCAR's official account stated, 4 races remain before the 2026 chase begins. Iowa Speedway is next, and every point matters. Pressure is rising for every championship contender. Bell himself said, Iowa has always been a place I enjoy racing. Time to execute, stay focused, and make the most of every lap. Joe Gibbs Racing added, the number 20 team heads to Iowa, ready for one of the biggest weekends of the regular season. Eyes forward. NASCAR insider Bob Pockrass said, Christopher Bell has the speed, but the conversation now is whether Iowa becomes the race where he finally converts pace into a defining result. Journalist Jeff Gluck said, Bell continues to be one of the fastest cars nearly every weekend. Iowa feels like a major momentum race, with only a handful of regular season events remaining. Analyst Jordan Bianchi said, Bell's raw speed has never really been the question. Execution, strategy, and closing races have become the storyline. A fan account wrote, Christopher Bell has to win this weekend. No more almost. Iowa is the perfect chance to prove he's still a title favorite. Every single voice here, from official team channels to independent analysts to Bell's own words, sounds like a man circling the same unanswered question from a slightly different angle each time it comes up. The field around him is not standing still while all of this plays out. Tyler Reddick currently sits second in the points standings, but he has shown fading form across recent weeks, giving him plenty to prove of his own heading into Iowa. Carson Hocevar and Bubba Wallace are both climbing steadily up the standings, adding fresh pressure from behind, while Chase Briscoe and Joey Logano sit lurking at plus 1,000, ready to capitalize on any opening that presents itself on Sunday. Every other serious contender in this field is either surging right now or has already proven capable of winning at Iowa Speedway specifically. Bell, so far, has proven neither of those two things. The window is closing fast, and it is no longer an abstract deadline sitting somewhere in the distance. It is 4 races away, and shrinking with every single lap turned this coming weekend, with no room left for another close call. Nothing here has been decided yet, and nothing about this story offers an easy answer. Is this the weekend Bell finally silences every doubt with a dominant statement victory at the very track he once mastered in a lower series years ago? Or does Iowa Speedway instead become the exact moment his championship dream quietly starts slipping away, in front of every fan, every analyst, and every rival currently watching closely? The engine is still running beneath him. The helmet is still heavy on his shoulders. The season is still pressing down on his chest, exactly where it was sitting before any of this ever had a name attached to it. Before Iowa, before the odds, before the questions from every direction. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next. Drop a comment below with your prediction for Iowa, and share this video with another fan who has been waiting just as long for Bell's breakthrough this season.